Hey everyone, I'm Andy Kupchak. I'm a DJ and a music producer, and today I'm going to do a breakdown of my progressive house track, Magnetic Drift, which is coming out on September 7th, the Future Avenue label. I'm really excited to have had my track selected to be a part of the Fall Sampler. Thanks for joining me, and let's just dive in. Okay, here we are inside the project file for Magnetic Drift. Um, like I said, this is my first time doing a track breakdown. Not entirely sure how that's supposed to work, but I guess I'm just going to go through and preview the sounds, show you uh, if there's any processing or anything on there, but basically be able to see how all the sounds added together work to form the track. And then you'll be able to see the arrangement and everything like that. Um, One thing is the track here, this is the mixed version. I do my own mastering and mixing, but when I mastered this track, I did export it out and put the audio file, the rendered out audio, into a new project and mastered there. So this is just the mixed version of the track, and I just threw on a Pro L to bump up the volume a little bit so that you guys can hear what's actually going on as we preview everything. So yeah, you'll see a recurring theme as we go through the lanes is that everything's very simple. So here's the kick, and you can see I don't really have any processing on here. Just 4 to the floor, standard kick. My percussion I have separated into 3 sections. I have a core group, a secondary group, and an ear candy percussion. So we'll go through the core. The core is made up of the clap, the shaker, and the hat. So this is essentially the groove. I'll preview the whole groove here for you real quick. So to me, the groove is the kick and the percussion together. So yeah, the clap, made up of 3 different parts. We have the top, we have a loop, also the body. So the top is panned a little to the right, body's panned a little bit to the left. Again, not a whole, really no processing going on. I'm just doing large cuts to get the frequencies that I want all together. Same thing with the shakers. I have a shaker top, shaker body. One's panned a little to the left, the other one's panned a little bit to the right. On the group, I do have a color copy here. And then with the kick and the shaker, the kick and the clap, can hear that the shakers are just a little sitting down underneath and giving it some width, some movement. And here's my hat. Pretty sharp, cuts through the mix. All right, for my secondary percussions, so I have this little mini groove that I made. These are just one shots that I got off of Loop Cloud. I'll preview the little hits. And then here's the pattern. And with the kick. Okay, so some of my names, I just name things in the moment, how they are, how they sound, or how they make me feel. So this one says smear drum. So we have some panning, just cutting out the lows, some reverb, and it's just, I like how it's giving that sort of smear effect as it transitions from the right to the left. Some drums, pan to the right. Ping drum. A little bit of ducking. Some panning. Some delay. And some reverb. And here's some additional sort of ear candy. So I remember the goal with these was to add some space in the track. These again are just some one shots from Loop Cloud with lots of reverb on them to just give some added space. So here's a preview of some of the different sounds. Just a reversed of the same thing over here. And some bubbles. Okay, so again, here's all the percussion with the kick. And we'll move on to the bass. So the bass is made up of 4 different layers. Let's see, so this is a sample, the bass groove here. A little bit of ducking going on, a little bit of EQing. A little bit of decapitator. Okay, and now we're this foot monster, trillion. Give it some grit. Just the standard patch. A little bit of room on this. A little bit of a boost. Okay, and the sub, you may or may not be able to hear this depending on the speakers you're using. Just a wavetable. low pass filter, 100 Hertz. Decapitator on it again as well. A little bit more this time. And of course, we're ducking the kick. And pure mono. And the mid bass here looks like it's a Diva patch. Okay, that's a stock patch, it looks like. Okay, so all of the basses together here. And with the kick. Okay, so that's the groove, the kick, percussion, and bass. And moving into the synths. Okay, so we have this Diva ARP. Looks like I'm automating the frequency, and that wet is probably for the reverb, the plate. Looks like this is just a standard patch. Okay, and then I have some chords in the track. These are pretty subtle. Just wanted to give it a little bit of a little bit of warmth, I guess. Trying to have the track have contrasting sections and parts. So a little bit of grittiness, but then also a little bit of something that's pretty, right? So a little bit of warmth underneath. And during the break, obviously opening up the filter here, or the EQ, so allow more of that low end to come through. Some light decapitator on here. Okay, analog grit. This is Serum. Okay, this is just a default stock patch, I believe. Okay, this is my, I guess, I don't know what you want to call it, obnoxious sound. Okay, so we have this hypnotic ping. I use something like this in pretty much every track. I guess you could consider it part of the groove, but it's just this rolling. You know, this one is on the same time as the clap. Sometimes I do it on, you know, different rhythms. It's got some panning, a little bit of EQ. So low level tone here. It's using the return track for some reverb and delay. Another diva patch, automating the frequency. Let's see. So this was meant to go with the chords. Okay. See a little bit about that contrast there. And then we have this detuned arp that is going through the main section here, the main drop. That's it for all the synths. With like the melodic sections. Okay, so for my pad section, one of them's not really a pad, but so this is, I forget what this is from, but this is, I think it was from one of my lanes here. I just threw on a huge reverb and ended up creating sort of this little riser that sits underneath. I don't remember what track or what from what lane it was from. Got some phaser, some EQing, and then after it drops off, we have some ducking. Give it that little bit of a pumping effect. Very subtle though. And this one's called Underbounce. So, okay, so this is just a loop off of Loop Cloud. And then I have this sequencer. So this is, I would consider this part of the groove too. So this is just giving it some movement. It's not very apparent. But this is just running through the whole track. See, it is being turned on and off in sections. Let's see where. Okay, so yeah, it's just on the whole track and then being shut off at the end. And you can see the step sequencer. You can't see the controls here because my interface is on this certain color mode and it doesn't show up. I think I need to update it. But you can increase or decrease the number of steps. Each step selects a different point here. Pretty good for, you know, just making these sort of textures, rhythmic textures. All right, so vocals. So we're moving through this pretty quick here. So top pretty, just a one shot. All three of these are from Loop Cloud. Not a whole lot of processing on these, you know, EQ'd, got the high pass filter, 550 hertz or so. Using the CLA with the Moody preset and some delay. And then also some additional, or no, not on this one. Then I have some panning that I'm doing, just going from the right to center, right to center. And then we have this hypnotic tone vocal that pretty much goes throughout the track. Just gives it some vocal texture, I believe. Yeah, so I really like hypnotic progressive house. I like dark prog, deep prog, hypnotic prog. So I really like these hypnotic textures throughout the track. It's what I like. Okay, so another one, just another one shot. Runs throughout the track. Just some more vocal texture. Alright, so we're on the last bit, the FX. So here we go. This is, so again, this is, I bounced out. This is from this first ARP right here we listened to. So this is just a rendering of that ARP with a lot of reverb on it, and then I put a pitch delay, and then I'm using it as like a riser into the analog grit sound, this one. And then here's the little riser I made. So just a pluck. This is a one shot I downloaded off of Loop Cloud. A little bit of EQ, so auto filter, some additional delay. So you can see I'm doing quite a bit in this section. This is actually my favorite section in the track, after the, you know, the breakdown here and then coming in. So like this is my favorite part of the track right here. Okay, we have another pluck that I rendered out the audio with a delay. I'm sorry, a reverb that I'm just using as a little vocal, or I'm sorry, not a vocal, but just a tone riser. And I don't remember what it was bounced audio from, but something in the track. I always like to use elements from within the track I'm working in to, you know, create like my risers and washes and impacts and stuff like that, just because it's all coming from the same track, same sound, so it naturally fits in really good. And another tonal rise. This one I created in Wavetable, has a long attack. Looks like this was another sample from Loop Cloud. Oh, doing some pretty significant EQ here. Some delay. Okay, it's pretty alien sounding. Okay, pluck melodic fill. Let's see. Okay, so this is a serum. Looks like this is just a patch that I did. It's actually just a sawtooth. Made into a pluck. And then some MIDI notes. And some EQ. Some delay. Okay, now remember I'm filtering this in throughout the track. So it's just used a little sporadically here. And then as the track builds up to the full break where it's being used, and it's opened up a little. So here's, that's it filtered and opened up. It's also using my return tracks for the reverb and delay. Okay, now we have this pluck rise. I believe this is either eighth notes or 32nd notes. Okay. So this is just to add a little bit of tension in the breaks here. Okay, and then we have a chord shot. This looks like it was downloaded from Loop Cloud too. And some delay on it. Okay, this is just used as a transition masking effect. Okay, we have impact, just a reverse impact. Just some white noise there. High EQ, the high pass filter, a little bit of a driver on it. And then a short riser. I don't know where this is. It would have been from a sample pack or from Loop Cloud. And we have some white noise. Okay, this was done in Operator. It's at a transition point, so this is just going to sweep up and down, I believe. Yep. Nothing much on here. Some reverb. So here, this is just the vinyl cracking. And then this one is just I made with Anna too. It's got some automation on the decay and frequency, some panning, filtered or EQ'd, and some ROM. And it's just some noise, like noise with some movement. It just sort of comes and goes. All right, so that's it. That's the track breakdown for magnetic drift. Pretty simple. Like I said, not a whole lot of processing going on. I think the sounds all fit together pretty nicely. You know, I'm still really new to producing music. This is my first official release. Thank you again, Future Avenue, for selecting me and putting, my track in with 19 other amazing artists on the Fall Sampler. I have more tracks coming out, um, and thanks for bearing with me for the track breakdown here. Hopefully, I can get a little bit better. Um, I need to watch some other people doing it some more on YouTube just to see what works and what doesn't. If you have any ideas or you have any suggestions, go ahead and post it down in the comments. I'll have a link in the description for the track. Thanks again for watching and checking it out, and we'll see you in the next breakdown.